beginning. La 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 la. They tried to slap that look right off my face, but I'm still grinning. And the money ain't run out yet, so I do believe I'm winning. For all the mess I was, am and will be continuing, and the fun is only beginning. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Hello and welcome to Don't Bury the Lead. We recap WWE SmackDown every Saturday night, and it is Saturday night, so here's the recap. My name's John Zindel. I'm joined by Dom Scarcella. Dom, get and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
John, just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful show. It's SmackDown returning to a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. So without further ado, John, don't bury the lead. What's our top story from the first SmackDown of 2026?
Dom, we don't ever bury the lead. And it was a great little number there, I must say. I don't know much about poetry, but yeah, I liked it.
But you know Gilligan's Island.
Yes, I do know Gilligan's Island, of course. So the lead, I'll go ahead and say, is the main event. We have an ambulance match between Damian Priest and Aleister Black. And Damian Priest wins it in a pretty long main event here, almost pay-per-view-esque, if you will. Damian picks up the win. I have a lot of notes from this one, but Dom, what did you think of this main event?
They said on commentary it was only the 7th ambulance match in WWE history and the first one ever on SmackDown. And if you're wondering what an ambulance match is, you win the match by putting your opponent in an ambulance and shutting both of the rear doors. So if you can only shut one door but not the other one, it doesn't count. You got to be able to shut both doors to the ambulance. The ambulance also came into play not merely as the final portion of the match, but it was used as a weapon by both guys, throwing guys into the ambulance side doors. Damian Priest at one point does a razor's edge, that old Razor Ramon move, onto the windshield, which then shatters and buckles when Aleister Black hits it. And that begins the closing sequence where Damian Priest then drags Aleister Black to the top of the ambulance. And they looked like they were going for a choke slam off of the ambulance through a couple of tables, but he just kind of pushed him.
Yeah.
I grabbed him by the throat and just kind of said, there you go. Because Aleister Black was out at that point. They didn't maybe want to risk the extra height and losing the balance, and then Damian Priest going over the ambulance. So he just kind of shoved him off the top of the ambulance, and then Damian Priest climbs down, puts Aleister Black into the back, and shuts all the doors to win. This match went about 24 minutes. It was unusual. You were wondering, what are the rules in this match? Apparently there are no rules. Damian Priest at one point used a fire extinguisher and also got Aleister Black back for using that little fireball on him at one point. Oh, then weirdly, that did not end the match, though. There were still several minutes to go. But a lot of actions, kind of crazy. If you're into a different setting for a match and a different style every now and then maybe this did it for you. If you did not like this kind of match, it was a 24-minute slog.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty good. And it evened their series at 2 wins apiece. So maybe it's not over between Damian Priest and Aleister Black. What say you, and what are some of your notes that you had for this one? Sounds like you enjoyed it if you took that many notes, unless they were kind of sarcastic quips.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
All right.
I totally caught that where he didn't do the choke slam. He just sort of pushed him.
Yeah.
Which was weird, but also I'm not mad at because the choke slam would have added like so many more feet. And
Mhm.
you could they must have just talked about it, and he's like, just push me. Rather than like, don't go too crazy, and I'm going to take a crazy jump bump. He probably didn't want to take it anyway, and then it was like, all right, I'll do it. So, yeah, I liked the match overall. I thought it was fun. Lots of brawling, right? Like a ton of brawling, really. I kind of like the Rhea Ripley coming out and beating the hell out of Zelina Vega. Who is that part of the match was really cool. I feel like
biggest pop of the match, wasn't it?
yes, exactly. It was like you could just see how much bigger Rhea Ripley is than everybody else in that whole match because like Rhea Ripley showed up and people went crazy, whereas like I think there were moments where the crowd was dragging a bit, but they really seemed to enjoy. They really seemed to enjoy seeing Rhea Ripley out there. And that's really less of a shot at Damian Priest and Aleister Black and more like Rhea Ripley's just a star, right?
Yep.
Fixer.
Good morning, Fixer.
Ooh, bad case of the flu. It's that time of the year. I'm glad you're on the wind. Well, welcome back, Fixer.
Welcome back. Just in time for the first live stream for the first SmackDown of 2026.
Yeah. Couple other things here.
You want to go through? I thought the Rhea Ripley thing was a big surprise too, which added to the pop from the crowd.
Yeah, I didn't think Rhea Ripley would be in the ambulance. No, it was not.
No, especially because they had opened the ambulance already because Aleister Black early had tried to put Damian Priest in it, but it didn't work. They wound up closing up the doors and they continued the brawl. And then Zelina Vega gets involved. And now she's helping Aleister Black. And she's the one, while Aleister Black is getting Damian Priest wheeled up on the stretcher and continuing to beat him down to keep him there. She opens the doors to the ambulance. And that second reveal is when Rhea Ripley is inside the ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a surprise because we've already seen the inside of the ambulance and no one was in there except... Now there is. And you are right. Rhea Ripley is a huge star. Apparently, this has been happening a lot on Monday Night Raw, where she is the star.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Maybe even more than CM Punk or Seth Rollins. When Seth Rollins was there, it's Rhea Ripley.
It's nutty too because and I have been to SmackDown, and it has been, and watching that main event in the third hour, people are tired. You've got young kids there. It's 10:30, 10:45. They've watched. A lot of people come in for the pre-show too, which is whatever is before 8 p.m. So by the time you're hitting that 10:45 window, you're like, all right, can I leave? So end of the day, crazy that she got such a great reception. A couple other things I wanted to talk about here. Really, not too much more, but. Okay, there was like a couple jokers in the crowd that had hilarious chants. So there was like at one point there was some jokers after he shoots a flame in his face, they said one more time, like shoot him with flames again.
Yes.
And then they started chanting, run him over, for like get in the ambulance and run the person over. And it was great because it was only about like 4 guys. You could just hear they're just the assholes in the crowd, right? That like weren't really, they were just like going along. They're just making their own chants and nobody else was joining in with them. But they were enjoying.
But they got what they wanted.
They were on the mic. I could hear them.
They were on the mic, and now they're on Don't Bury the Lead.
Now they're on Don't Bury the Lead.
They got what they wanted. They are in anonymity. Their act is famous.
We got the Fixer here. To be honest, I'm going to have to watch a couple weeks of WWE to catch up right now as well. We're here to help you out, Fixer. We're recapping SmackDowns. We'll let you know how everything's going. You could just watch Raw and then you'll be caught up. Yeah, so that's all I really kind of had from that match. Anything else from your end?
I like the Meteora from Aleister Black onto Damian Priest off of the apron and through a table on the floor. Getting Damian on the stretcher and wheeling him up the ramp from the ring, because they did get into the ring for a while and do some wrestling. So there's Aleister Black trying to wheel this large 250-pound man on a stretcher, slight incline on the ramp back to the ambulance. So, they really milked that for all they could get out of it. At one point, Damian Priest, I don't know why he did this. He opened the front door on the passenger side to the ambulance.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he did that, because he didn't use it. Yes, all it did was give him one more door to close.
It was like he went, it was locked. Then he went to the front door, opened that. Then he went back to the back doors, and then they were open for some reason. So then he put them in, closed one, closed the front door, and then closed the third. This is the second time I've seen a specialty match with Damian Priest, and very awkwardly. Like when he jumped off the cage, like when he was in the cage match and he got out the door and he like took forever getting out of the door, and it was like very confusing. This also ended really awkwardly. But it's an ambulance match. Like it must be really tough because like what the it's like a completely its own gimmick match.
Yes.
Where like there haven't been done a lot of times. There's no tropes or anything really per se.
Nope.
Outside of like, oh yeah, you can throw the guy up against the ambulance, or don't tease the finish, which you do with everything in wrestling, right? There's always a tease of the finish.
Yep. And there was a good one in the middle of the match. Aleister Black puts Damian Priest in there, shuts one door, and as he goes to shut the second, just that foot from Damian Priest pressed against the door prevents it from closing. And he manages to kick Aleister Black and then free himself from the ambulance. So yeah, they were doing the things with the ambulance that you would expect them to do. Like one door closes, but the second door doesn't. And they did wind up getting on top of the ambulance eventually, using the side door to bash someone's head into it. Yeah. So
Right.
they did use the ambulance for more than just the finish. So it's different. Would I want to see this every week? No.
It was fun for a main event.
For one match, I'll take it. And for a match where they were talking about how these guys have been escalating the brutality on each other for 6 months with their series. They've had them on premium live events. They've had them on SmackDowns. So it made sense that it would escalate.
It feels like that they kind of drug this rivalry out, because I forgot they were even like competing with each other that too much. Maybe more of it's on Raw and I'm missing it. But by the time it was like, oh wait, we had this one kind of hanging around. We should probably finish it up.
Did you like Damian Priest's backstage interview where he basically said the same thing?
I didn't catch that. No.
In not so many words, he's sitting there going, to the effect of, I can't believe I still got Aleister Black hanging around. I still got to do this, and everybody else and me wants to see this come to an end. Like he's laying it on just a little thick there.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the best way to do it, right? Like you should allude to how you really feel in your character at some times, right? And be like, I'm dying over here. Like, let's finish this rivalry so I can move on to something else.
Yep.
But a fitting finish to the whole thing. I have a chat from the Fixer here.
Here we go. What do we got?
Speaking of Aleister Black, Karrion Kross and Scarlett are returning at some point in 2026 to WWE. That's a rumor floating around. Oh.
Well, they probably have some opponents lined up already. Wink.
And there's no better way to get in WWE's good graces than to just be very unprofessional and trash them, because they will just bring you back. A la CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, a variety of people that have left the company. Naomi got a huge
Yeah.
push when
Mhm.
she threw the belts in the trash and left, and then she came back and they gave her a huge push. They gave her the title. She'll
Yep.
probably come back from her pregnancy and take the title from Jade. She'll be a 2-time champ. So, yeah, all you have to do is trash WWE, right?
Yes. Now a little inside. Don't bury the lead humor here, especially with the fixer. When Karrion Kross and Scarlett come back, are they setting up for a tag Timu match?
Yes. Yes. I love it. That's a
All right,
short.
where else to? I think we're done with the lead here. It's time to shut the doors on it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely It's a long enough SmackDown. I've been leading up for too long. I think I'll go to the next match, which I thought probably has more serious implications than any other match. U.S. Women's Title. We have Chelsea Green versus Julia in an oddly short match, considering they have extended SmackDown.
Yes.
But Julia wins the title from Chelsea Green. So we're really hot potatoing this U.S. Women's title. It goes back to Julia after she had it and Chelsea Green won it from her. But Julia wins it. Dom, what did you think of this matchup?
7.5 minutes. So yeah, and there were only 5 matches on this card. Yes, there was another big segment that wasn't really a match. And then there was the opening segment that we'll get to. But yeah, 7.5 minutes for a women's US championship match with 2 competitors who can wrestle.
And
Chelsea Green not only showed us a little more wrestling since she got more than a 4-minute match this week. They bumped it all the way up to 7.5-ish. She was getting some cheers. She was the baby face in this match.
she really was.
Is the crowd turning Chelsea Green babyface because they appreciate what she's doing?
She's just over.
Yeah.
And I think that she's too likable. She's not real. She does the right things to be a heel.
Yes.
But she's just too charismatic. And the crowd is just cheering for her at this point,
Yep.
Which
now,
I
Julia does win this, like you said. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
and I think she could keep the same exact gimmick and turn face.
Right? She doesn't
wouldn't
have to
modify it
change
that much.
Because
No.
the gimmick is that she's a hot mess.
Yes. That's exactly it. That she is just a hot mess. That's what it really is. That you really nailed it there. I think she's
It's
done
her theme song. Like they say it right at the beginning, like I'm a hot mess or something. I heard it in her theme song. Like, yes, she is.
Yeah.
So there's something lovable about people who are just like, they're a mess and they're trying to keep it together. Like she could easily be a face as the hot mess who's keeping things together.
Even the real life thing where she missed a show because she was like delayed on a flight, and then she gave like a big story as to what happened with the flight and everything like that. I'm like, I could see her missing a show because her flight got all messed up, and she's all like, oh,
Yep. Especially since she's an international traveler. She's from Canada.
She is from Canada.
It sometimes gets messed up. Yeah.
And then she had all the different. I love her gear with all the different flags all over it. Yes. So it's like it doesn't even make any sense anymore. She just like is claiming North America as hers. So she got Canada, she's got Mexico, she got US all over her.
Yeah, she's like claiming the North American championship for some reason.
Yeah, right.
Now she is one half of the mixed tag champions in is it CMLL?
Right.
She had 2 belts that she brought out, and it's one of them. So this match ends with the Julia doing a charge into the corner, but Chelsea catches her with a super kick to drop her. Chelsea to the top turnbuckle, but takes too long. Julia climbs. They get in a fight. Julia wins the fight on the turnbuckles and hits a double underhook superplex from the second turnbuckle. Then a scoop and a driver, some sort of a scoop driver that she hits for the pinfall. There were other high spots in this match. Chelsea Green looked like she had a pinfall, but Kiana James was distracting the ref, and so there was no pinfall there. Good action from both of them. And it looks like Julia is the one who's staying heel here. Chelsea Green may be turning. One other neat thing I want to point out, and it will have something to do with the match we get to a little later in our recap. Chelsea Green does that leaping leg lariat, which was the second time we saw that in this episode of SmackDown.
Oh, I didn't see the first time.
It was done by the returning Matt Cardona, using his name Matt Cardona, Chelsea Green's real life husband.
Oh, good tie-in there.
So Chelsea Green does they had called it the Rough Rider when Matt Cardona was going under the Zack Ryder moniker. It's a leaping leg lariat. Matt did it in his match against Kit Wilson. Chelsea Green does it in this match against Julia, and that's the one where where she had Julia pinned, but Kiana James had the referee distracted.
Yeah, I only have really two things that you didn't really touch on. Is I did notice there was a dive in the match, but I think Chelsea Green saved it because I saw the dive. I was like, oh no, a dive. But then she said, pledge to me, you dummies, to the crowd.
Yes.
And it was like very audible on the broadcast. I can hear, you can hear. I think it's something along the lines of pledge allegiance to me, you dummies, or pledge to me, you dummies. One of the two.
Yeah, she has been, since she became the U.S. champion the first time, she's been telling people to pledge allegiance to her.
Pledge allegiance to her. And I always hated pledging allegiance to the flag when I was a little kid because I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Let's get this.
Here.
Let's get this show on the road. But so it was a great heel move. And I liked that. I thought she saved the dive spot because I usually detest the dive spot. And I was like, all right, that one's acceptable if she does that. So, yeah, that's all I really had in addition to add to your match. I want to keep this one moving because we have a lot of, it's 3 hours instead of 2. I'd say the next one is probably Johnny Gargano versus Carmelo Hayes for the men's U.S. title.
All right.
And Carmelo Hayes goes over which is another pretty good match, a good showing from Carmelo Hayes. And Johnny Gargano can really go out and work a good match, can he?
Yep. Especially with someone who's more his size, so it makes sense that he's lasting, close to 20 minutes with Carmelo Hayes. I liked it. They traded roll-up covers, then Melo separated a bit and hit a chest cracker, then his top turnbuckle leg drop for the pinfall. So he retains. Carmelo Hayes successful in his first title defense against, as he was being called, Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny Wrestling. Yeah, I saw him at an NXT show years ago. NXT came to Philadelphia, and I was like on StubHub, and I was like, if the tickets go under like $30, I'll go. And then they did, so I just got tickets.
Yeah, very
good. They had and they chanted Johnny Wrestling the whole time. I was like, oh, my name's John. I like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was Gargano. Ever since then, I've always liked Gargano, and you knew he wasn't going to win, and he kind of plays his role in WWE at this point, and he plays it well. And I think you need to have guys like that are good hands, that go out, they have good matches and lose. And, hey, the Ricochet Memorial Award exists for a reason. So he's an early candidate as far as I'm concerned.
Early front runner might be Johnny Gargano after this performance today. Looks like he's got a match with Axiom next week. So he's going to be working hard. Normally a tag team wrestler on the singles circuit for at least a couple of weeks, it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much more than that for this match. Do you have anything, Dom?
Not really, other than the athleticism. Just overall, two great athletes, and their styles fit with each other. Johnny Gargano's not the guy who will use the top turnbuckles as much as Carmelo Hayes, but like Gargano is quick.
Mhm.
and he moves well in the ring. So sometimes that's what you really need if you're the kind of wrestler like Carmelo Hayes, is you need someone who can match your quickness, even if he's not the similar style moveset that you are.
Yeah. And then we have 2 chats here from the Fixer I wanted to pull up.
All right, what do we got?
My mate told me Julia won the women's US title back, and to be honest, all I said was, "Oh well." Julia has been mismanaged since she came to the main roster.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're giving her a second chance here and really giving creative a second chance to do something with her.
Yeah, I think Fixer, you nailed it. She's been mismanaged for sure, because I didn't even know she had won the title and then she just disappeared. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Where's the US title? Does it still exist?"
Yep.
And she hasn't been around. Okay, not even like a backstage or a squash or something. And then, ooh, talking of Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa is departing WWE in not too distant future.
I was
So
unaware
expect
of that.
Gargano to undergo a change. I did not know that.
If Tommaso
Wow.
Ciampa is departing WWE, then he went out on a high note. He had an excellent 2025.
Yeah.
I named him our SmackDown Men's Wrestler of the Year.
Oh, there's a lot.
He had an excellent 2025. So if he's on his way out, then we'll see. I think Johnny Gargano can hold his own as a singles wrestler. The problem will be that him and Ciampa were such a great tag team.
Yeah.
They were one of the few tag teams where each guy in the tag team is different enough from the other guy. You know, like even Nathan Frazier and Axiom are very similar in how they wrestle. But Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were different while they were in the same team.
Yeah. Well, there's
So
two things.
I do like that.
Two things that could be happening here, because this is a pretty legit rumor.
Okay.
One, Tommaso's had a lot of neck injuries in the past. So I don't know if the neck injuries and where he's at from a health standpoint, maybe he's thinking wisely and saved up his money and it's like, I'm going to hang him up, or I'm going to leave the WWE and do something easier. Who knows? Or it's he's gotten as far as he can. He doesn't like the role he's currently in, and he wants to see if he can do better, and he'll go to AEW or New Japan or something.
Yeah, if he still wants to wrestle, I would imagine that coming off the run he had in 2025, someone will look at him and say, okay, this guy still has enough left in the tank.
Yeah. I do have to say this. AEW is pretty stacked. So he's gonna have to do something. He's gonna have to do something if he shows up to AEW. He's not gonna be a kind of guy that'll show up there with where he's at and just get a title right away, you know. But it worked for Ricochet. It really did. So maybe Tommaso is looking at Ricochet, seeing he has a title, seeing he's a little bit more over, and he was just a jobber there. So maybe he's thinking that. Maybe the money's not there. Who knows? But that's an interesting one. We'll follow that one.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed to see Tommaso Ciampa depart from SmackDown.
Yeah, he's been a valuable part of it. He's done well while he's been in the ring on SmackDown all the time, and he'll be valuable wherever he goes. And even if it's in the role that he currently has, which is kind of a good jobber or in a
good
tag
mid
team.
Carter. He's good on the mic.
Yeah, he really is.
He's good on the mic. He's a good character.
Okay, so Dom, maybe you could pick the next couple matches here, as I missed some of SmackDown just because I refused to watch the 3 hours. So some of the earlier stuff I missed.
Did you catch something that was major, which was Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes' showdown over the stipulations for the 3 stages of hell this coming Friday?
Was that in the first hour?
It was kind of middle of the show.
Yeah, I think I skipped over that. Sorry. You can let me know what happened there.
Sure. Cody Rhodes was in the ring. Drew McIntyre appeared on the big screen because they all expected Drew McIntyre to announce these stipulations, but no one could find Drew McIntyre.
Of course.
Well, Drew appears on the big screen in front of Cody's that large van that he has, the big bus, Cody's bus that he lives in when he's on the road. He gives the 3 stages. The first fall will be a straight wrestling match. The second fall will be Falls Count Anywhere. And if they need the third fall, it will be a cage match.
It turns into a cage match?
It turns into a cage match at the end.
Wow.
So it keeps building up. At this point, Drew says he wanted to tell Cody this man to man in his tour bus, but he wasn't there. But he did find this in his bus, and he holds up a picture of Cody Rhodes with his father, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, which he then throws on the ground and starts to smash with his foot. That makes Cody Rhodes leave the ring and run out to the back to find him. Security tries to stop Cody Rhodes from going after Drew McIntyre because if Cody touches Drew McIntyre, he has to vacate the title.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick Aldis and everybody else is trying to keep Cody Rhodes away from Drew McIntyre. Well, while Cody Rhodes is in the back looking for Drew McIntyre is in the ring with a trash can and the picture, which he lights on fire.
Mm-hmm.
This brings Cody back to the ring where everybody is holding Cody back while Drew McIntyre leans his head over the bottom rope and eggs Cody on, and they won't let Cody touch Drew.
Wow.
This has been fun. This has been a fun feud. For all of the feuds that could be dragged out too long and not go well, I think Cody Rhodes has done well, and Drew McIntyre is especially done well in this feud. I think it's great if Drew McIntyre wins the big belt this coming week on SmackDown for January 9th in Berlin. I would not complain about that at all.
You know,
I think Drew has done such good work the last year and a half, really.
Yeah, he's been probably the most deserving character and wrestler combo, right? Like the character's been unbelievable, and he's good in the ring. But he's probably the best character, as far as I'm concerned, the best heel character in the company. And I'd have to say, it's such a goofy thing to think that they would do it, but maybe they do it before WrestleMania just to set something up.
Yeah, and maybe they're wondering if Drew can main event a big show. Mm-hmm. And of course, it will depend on who else is in the match with him. But Drew McIntyre is taking some acting gigs now. He's got some crossover appeal. There are no flaws in what he does as a professional wrestler. I mean, you could say that other people are better at certain things, but there's no flaw in Drew McIntyre's game.
You could have Cody win, and then Drew win the Royal Rumble, and then challenge Cody.
Or the opposite.
Yeah. Right. You could have the opposite, which would be...
You could have somebody who's a hot baby face chase Drew McIntyre into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because now the baby face is chasing.
Which would be better. That probably would be better, but I don't know if they're going to try to shoehorn Cody in there somehow, you know?
Yeah.
Like, do they want Cody in the main event with the title kind of thing, no matter what? Again.
That'll be 4 WrestleManias that Cody Rhodes is involved in the main event with the WWE Universal title.
That's crazy.
Line, right? The first one he was challenging and lost. The second one he won. The third one he lost to Cena as he was the champion. Mm-hmm. Cody Rhodes was the champion. So would it be 4 in a row with Cody Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania with the WWE Universal Championship on the line? Which
is the big belt, let's face it. Yeah, that would be kind of crazy. I mean, like, does it have to happen? I mean, are we talking stale alert here, 4 years?
If he had held the belt continuously, it probably would have been stale. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he lost his first try, won, and then lost on the heel turn with The Rock involved, although The Rock didn't come out for WrestleMania. They sent Timu Rock out there instead.
Oh, was that ever Timu? That was like Family Dollar Rock. That wasn't even
Right.
like Timu. um,
Value City. It's the version with the dents and dings.
the dents and the dinks. Yeah. So
It's the
I
sock
got
with the crooked toe.
I got a couple other comments that came through here.
Okay.
That one is really good. There's a bunch of rumors currently swirling around. LA Knight is rumored to be winning the Rumble. As he gets pushed on the title, yeah, he'll get a push to the title this year. Jericho will return at the Rumble, also returning as Paige. Paige is interesting. I could see her coming back because she like stepped down from AEW to do like a podcast and a book and stuff. So maybe she comes back just for the Rumble. Just as like, hey, I'm back. But like probably it'd be nice to do that and she doesn't stay on the roster. Jericho, yeah, he's almost certainly coming back and will return at the Rumble.
He'd be a nostalgia act. Is Jericho getting a run in WWE if he comes back? What do you think?
Boy, I really don't know. He probably is going to want a top booking, though. I'll tell you what, and he probably could garnish that from the crowd between the nostalgia and the mic skills and everything that he's done outside of WWE and being gone for that long. He could have a run. I don't think he would come back to take a role like The Miz. Like I don't think he'd want to do that.
Okay.
I don't think that he's coming back to job. I think he'll probably force. He'll probably go for big titles, or he'll at least be in big feuds with bigger guys, right?
Speaking of which, this show began with a 16-minute opening segment in which The Miz was out there just filling time, doing his darndest.
Yeah.
But it was all there just to set up Randy Orton's music and Randy Orton's return, and eventually him hitting 2 RKO's on The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
This took way too long, but thankfully The Miz made it better than it could have been and probably should have been.
Right.
But it led into finally almost 23 minutes into the broadcast, the 8-woman tag match, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. So this is why Rhea Ripley was in the building for the main event. She and Io Sky teamed up with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss for their team of 4 against Nia Jax, Last Legend, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. So they're almost kind of running back Survivor Series War Games.
Mm-hmm.
With this 4-on-4 women's tag team match. Great workers all over the place. This match goes over 15 minutes into the 20-minute range. I was surprised. It ends with Monday's challengers, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, hitting the finishing sequence and pinning Kairi Sane of the current champs.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea catches Kairi jumping off the top turnbuckle, just literally catches her because she's Rhea Ripley. Headbutt, pump handle, slam tags in Io Sky for the top turnbuckle moonsault. Io pins Kairi Sane. So Monday's challengers have now pinned the tag champions in this 8-woman tag match.
Wow.
Which seems strange to me. Like there's 4 other people in this match, 2 on each side that could have been involved in the finish.
Yeah.
And instead, they just basically gave us Monday's pseudo main event now.
Dylan
I'm not
time.
complaining about the work in the match. I thought it was great. What say you about this match here? They gave them a long time, and they all did well.
I didn't watch the first hour. Sorry.
You didn't watch the first hour, so you missed The Miz.
I read about The Miz and him getting RKO'd, and then I read a little bit about this match, but I didn't watch it because I'm not watching full. It's SmackDown. I'm here for 2 hours and 2 hours only. So you better get it all in at the last hour and the second to last hour.
There better be some very obvious fast forwards on the show so I can get all the good stuff.
Right. I have to. So this one I did not catch.
The opening segment would have been a very good fast forward. That would have been a good quarter hour out of the way there.
Well, that's where
there
I
was
was.
a.
I'm sorry. That was what I was saying earlier. I was going to say earlier. This Chelsea Green Julia match got 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, and I was going through fast forwarding, and there were so many talking segments. I was like,
Yep.
We couldn't have cut 5 minutes out of one of these, 5, 10 minutes of this crap, and had given them a proper match, right?
Especially since the match had to be cut from the show because Michin got injured during the house tour this past week.
Wow. So they even had.
It was supposed to be Jade Cargill versus Michin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were supposed to have 6 minutes of entrances and a 2-minute Jade match. So they could have used those 8 minutes for something else.
It's not like that. They could have used that. What did they do with those 8 minutes, right? Because that could have been right to Julia and Chelsea Green to have a real match because she's winning the title.
It's going to be a title switch. And you have a wrestler who the crowd is turning.
You have a wrestler that's over in the champ.
Yeah, you have a wrestler that's over and the crowd is turning her baby face. So this match, there was a one point where big sequence, everybody got their stuff in. And I always remember you calling out the JR line there, So I'm watching. I'm going like, if John is watching this, I know what he's writing his notes for this.
Yeah. Everyone gets their shit in.
It's one of those things where somebody hits a big spot on one person, another person runs in the ring and hits the big spot on that person. Another person runs in the ring and hits the big spot on that person. And they just go down the line and everybody did a big spot and bumped for someone else. And it was like, okay, everybody got their stuff in. So there you go.
You got to get your damn move in, right? Yeah.
Right. One thing we do bring up occasionally on Don't Bury the Lead is how heels are always booked as such a well-oiled machine. Well, in this one early, Kairi backed Alexa Bliss into the heel corner, and Nia Jax tagged herself in and got dirty looks from Asuka and Kairi Sane. And Nia just kind of stared at like, what? So... more Nia Jax stuff later in the match. After hitting a big move on Io Sky, who took a lot of punishment when she was in there, Nia does this and mocks the crowd. So Nia Jax, very good at getting under everyone's skin in the match, including her teammates, including the crowd assembled in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, that's what she's acting like what a real heel should act like. They shouldn't be such well-oiled machines. They should just be like, oh man, I'm not even cooperating with these people. I'm not friends with them.
Nope.
I'm tagging myself
because they've got the belts and I want the belts too.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure that me and my partner Lash Legend, we show them that we can go.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That led into Kit Wilson versus a returning Matt Cardona, billed as Matt Cardona, which I thought was great. Matt wins this. It is his first win in the WWE in 6.5 years. They announced that on commentary. He hit his leaping leg lariat for the pinfall. Match only went 4.5 minutes against Kit Wilson, who is now calling himself Kit Wilson because he thinks he's like RKO or LA Knight or something.
Okay.
I am Kit Wilson.
Say what you will about Pretty Deadly. They make the most of the limited time they get on the screen, and they're funny and charismatic. We're big Prince Pretty people.
But they are
Pretty Deadly, excuse me.
Yes, Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. I don't know what's up with Elton Prince. He's been gone for a while, but Kit Wilson has been trying to do something as a singles wrestler just to keep himself relevant on TV. And he's doing as well as he can with what they're giving him. They are basically the Chelsea Greens of the men's division.
That's why we like them. It's too much.
They are whatever the male version of a hot mess is. That's Kit Wilson and Elton Prince.
Right.
Kit Wilson does hit a good-looking tourniquet DDT variation. So it's not like he's just out there to bump like he's, the indie guy they brought in, from the locals just to job. Let's remember that Kit Wilson can work here.
Yeah.
But Matt Cardona looked good. Matt Cardona looked great in his tournament match against LA Knight, where LA Knight went over in the first round of the Who Wants to Lose to John Cena Unless It's Gunther tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So good to see that Matt Cardona is getting another shot here. And I do love the callback later when his lovely bride, Chelsea Green, did the leaping leg lariat on Julia in her match.
Yeah. And I liked, or I should say this. I do have a couple chats that came through that are
Okay.
that are
If
from
you are watching live on whatever platform, the chats are open. Please do chime in if you like what we're saying. If you don't like what we're saying, tell us that too. Wherever you are chatting with us, head on over to YouTube. That's our home base. That's where you can subscribe. Help us climb the next mountain. Don't bury the lead. A wrestling channel on YouTube where you not only get the archived live streams, you get the edited videos, John, that you make and the hashtag shorts that are under 60 seconds. We are also trying out TikTok. So if you see us on TikTok, hey, give us a watch there and a like and a follow as well.
As Dom would say, tick tock.
Yes, stealing it from Karrion Kross.
Yes.
I am Timu TikTok. You're not Karrion Kross. I know. Tick tock.
That's an old joke, folks. You have to be here from the beginning when we were getting, I don't know, 10 views a month. I think Cody goes heel this year and turns into Homeland style character.
Okay, I don't know much about the Homelander reference, but they've been teasing Cody as a heel for a while. But because he's up against someone like Drew McIntyre, who's so good at being a heel, Cody always winds up reverting to babyface.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not difficult to cheer the person against Drew McIntyre. So I wonder if after this feud with Drew, Cody just snaps and they let him go heel. And does that mean The Rock is coming back? Finally, because finally Cody comes to his senses and he takes The Rock's offer. I don't know. That would be fun.
He finally accepts his offer, but I feel like, oh man, I feel
A
like
year late though.
Oh man, you might want to let laying dogs lie with that with The Rock. If he's not going to be there, then it's not going to work, and we can't have Travis Scott again.
Right, and if he's like 70 pounds lighter because he was off of the Smashing Machine regimen to look like
oh yeah,
the guy he read, and then he's like off of that and looks more like a 50-something-year-old man now.
He looks like a normal human being.
He looks like a guy who goes to the gym a lot, but he doesn't look like a comic book character.
Yeah, right. He does not look like he's put the sauce down. The problem with Cody losing the title going into WrestleMania would be he's in the WrestleMania promo already.
They can make a new promo.
Yeah.
They can make a new promo.
Jericho,
with the budget they have for these AI-generated slop vignettes.
You ain't wrong, Dom. Jericho is coming back for maybe a year before retirement, but also going into the Hall of Fame. I think that would be good if he came back for a year and retired.
Yep.
You mentioned here, it says
AJ style type send-off, not a John Cena type send-off.
Yeah, hopefully not, right? Jericho's coming back for, one more year. He's 54, and he's going into the Hall of Fame with Cena and AJ Styles. He's actually 55 now. So he's 55 years old. I mean, how much longer can he really do it?
If they're all going into the Hall of Fame in 2027 in Riyadh, that's how Riyadh's going to get John Cena, because maybe he goes into the Hall of Fame in 2027 for WrestleMania weekend in Riyadh.
Yes. That's what makes sense, actually, because they might want to have an awesome Hall of Fame there for Saudi Arabia, and they're going to pay a lot of money, so they're probably like, yeah, we want Jericho.
Homelander is the egotistical, selfish, arrogant, weaker version of Superman. Wow. Okay.
Yes, but he's draped in the U.S. flag.
Draped in the U.S. flag? Well, perfect.
Well, that sounds about right for a heel wrestler.
So he's El Grande Americano. Fantastic. Cody, you read it. You heard it here first. Cody Rhodes will be the 4th El Grande Americano.
Yeah, whatever happened with El Grande Americano?
Or maybe the 5th if Chad Gable is ready to come back.
Was
there
never
could be 5 El Grande Americanos. I smell a War Games.
Oh, all 5 El Grande Americanos. Oh, why didn't they do that? They need to do that.
Let's see who's up next for Team El Grande Americano. Oh, it's El Grande Americano.
Right.
He'll be helping El Grande Americano in the ring. As El Grande Americano, and El Grande Americano watch from the cage.
That would be great to do it against a heel team, right? Because the crowd would love it. And the heel team could get over and get a lot of heat and just be beating the hell out of them, right? And that would be the match. And then, they would get a bunch of high spots in and get going. Oh, that would destroy this year's War Games.
Right? Yeah, it was so much better than what we saw this year.
All right. We got through
Braun Breaker almost got killed, and they had Austin Theory come in to finish it.
Right.
That's it for the matches. Anything else you want to talk backstage? Tell me if you know anything about this, John. Shinsuke Nakamura meets Tama Tonga in the dressing room, and they start speaking Japanese to him, and Tama Tonga answers in Japanese. Because, Tama Tonga wrestled in Japan for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Shinsuke walks away just as Solo Sikoa enters and asks Tama Tonga if everything is okay. As Solo leaves, Tama looks back over his shoulder to the direction where Shinsuke Nakamura had been. Do you know if Shinsuke and Tama Tonga have any history over in Japan? I do not. So this is a genuine me being informed question.
So Shinsuke Nakamura has been in the U.S. for a very long time. He was in New Japan. He actually lost to Brock Lesnar, and he lost it and New Japan Pro Wrestling title, the IWGP title, to Brock Lesnar in Japan. That's how long ago he was in Japan. He was doing stuff like that.
He's gone back for cameos, though.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they faced at some point, but I don't know if the timelines aligned where when Tama Tonga was in the Bullet Club and a little bit more over, he might have been out. Because I don't even think that Shinsuke was there for the Bullet Club stuff. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about New Japan.
All right. Maybe not much of an overlap there on the Venn diagram. If you know anything, wonderful viewers and listeners, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat if you're live streaming with us. Do you have any information on, do you remember Tama Tonga and Shinsuke Nakamura? Do you remember any classic face-offs they may have had? Perhaps a match that you remember watching? Did you enjoy it between those two? I thought it was a neat thing to tease there. I'll go for it.
Yeah. Got a couple chats coming through too.
Okay.
Chad Gable coming back very soon.
Yep.
As is Jacob Fatu. Austin Theory is a Seth Rollins plant.
He's doing pretty well on Raw.
I
like that they have found something for Austin Theory to do.
Is he in the
Vision? And it's not goofball stuff.
Is he in the Vision or is he just...
He's in the Vision. He's not doing goofball stuff.
Was he the masked man?
He was the hoodie guy in War Games.
Okay.
Yeah, and he did it again on Raw, and at one point he revealed himself while he escaped through the crowd, turned around, and took off the hood.
Okay.
And it was Austin Theory.
They do so many masked man things at this point.
Yeah, and he doesn't have like the flat top haircut. It's more short all around.
So he changed the look up a little bit. So he doesn't
changed
look so
the look
pretty.
up a little bit. He's wearing more darker colors, but he can still go in the ring, which he's always a good athlete.
Yeah,
they're just not having him do goofball stuff.
Yeah, right. That's actually was the wrong direction for him, I believe, because he wasn't very good at the goofball stuff either.
No,
he was way out of. It was out of his comfort. I mean, he was out of his comfort zone, which is okay, but he was out of his range, right? As a performer.
Yeah, he and Grayson Waller were doing the Temu version of Pretty Deadly.
Exactly. Right. Pretty Deadly. Nail it. They're not even close. And the thing is, when you do comedy bad, it's bad. That's a
Yeah, it is.
it's like get it off the TV right now.
It's as the kids say, cringe.
Cringe. Yeah, very
I
cringe.
said that so you could make a short for TikTok.
We're on
You could
TikTok
put it
now.
on the TikTok. I said cringe. I said cringe. I've said cringe again and again and again. I've said cringe like 6-7 times now.
Yes, it's going on TikTok.
It's going. We're going on the TikTok. We're on the TikTok. The kids love us now.
Yes, this is true. They do love us.
We have Riz.
I love it. This would be a huge long TikTok that I can make.
I am grinning ear to ear behind my pop filter that no one can see.
It's good. I like the gimmick. Nakamura has planted the seeds of rebellion within. Okay, with Tama Tonga against Solo Sikoa.
Everybody has been teased to be turning on Solo Sikoa. Tala Tonga, Tongaloa.
All right, Dom. Anything else from this show before we can head to the thumb drive?
I think we've hit everything in this 3-hour tour. This 3-hour tour known as SmackDown, except for Sami Zayn in the ring.
Yeah,
talking about how he's never won the world championship and how at John Cena's last match, he got to sit in the crowd with his son. And his son asked him, Daddy, why do they call John Cena the Never Seen 17? And so Sami explained to him, because he's been world champion 17 times. And then his son said to him, how many times have you been world champion, Dad? And here's what that taught me about B2B sales. To finish Sami Zayn's LinkedIn post. No, that would have been the LinkedIn post, but no. My 4-year-old said this to me. It turned into Sami Zayn saying, yeah, and I had to tell him, I've never been the world champion, and I want to be the world champion. And for some reason, this brings out Trick Williams, fresh off of NXT. He's got his lemon steppers on. Mm-hmm. People call him a lot of things. You could call him Trick Willie, and he wants the world title too. So they kind of teased that maybe Trick Williams and Sami Zayn are going to meet down the road. In the back, though, they set it up that it's going to be Trick Williams versus Rey Fenix, because Trick interrupts Nick Aldis talking to Rey Fenix, and so this is Rey Fenix's first thing to do. So Penta just made his return on Raw. Rey Fenix is now getting a shot at Trick Williams. So we'll see how high they are on Trick Williams based on whether they give him the Braun Breaker treatment fresh up from NXT or whether they give him the Carmelo Hayes treatment fresh up from NXT.
And I'll tell you what, it's really make or break time for Rey Fenix. If he loses again, it's like, what are we doing?
They don't have a singles push for him, right? If he loses again, then it's clear they don't have a singles push for him.
Yeah, he might as well just team with Kip or something, and
go to Raw with Penta.
Yeah, they should be the Lucha Bros. It's ridiculous.
Because it looks like Penta's singles push has stalled. He was fun for a while and getting it done, but it looks like his singles push has stalled. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's it for video. The Wyatt Six calling out Solo Sikoa. That wasn't a live thing. And the MFT, the Wyatt Six still only has 4 men in the group, and the MFT have 5 if you count Solo Sikoa. So maybe one person does have to leave the MFTs, or the Wyatt Six has to gain someone.
Yeah. All right, let's move into the thumb drive. Let me get the screen. There it is. All right, we're going to head into the thumb drive, Dom.
Okie doke.
The thumb
The thumb
drive.
drive is when you and I distill this entire wrestling program into a simple thumbs up or a thumbs down. Yes, we are taking all this data and compressing it on that little bitty thumb drive. There are no star ratings, there are no letter grades, and no number grades here at Don't Bury the Lead. When we do the thumb drive, you're taking this course pass, fail.
Dom, we're not Dave Meltzer. We don't do 7 stars at the Tokyo Dome. We don't do 2 stars at the Core State Spectrum. No, no, no. We don't do stars. We say, is the match good or is the match bad? Show. All right. Ready. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Dom, why'd you give this show a thumbs up?
When I watched it, I kept saying, oh my goodness, this is going to be such a slog if they do this every week. But part of that may have been that I had somewhat of a rough day and it was very late and I was tired. As I got ready to live stream today, went through my notes, was remembering things and talking to you with it. Maybe it's just because we have so much fun here on Don't Bury the Lead. As we were recapping the show, I started to it wasn't terrible. And I
Yeah.
gave it the thumbs up. The ambulance match, the ambulance match was basically a microcosm for the show. When it started and you saw how much time was left, you're going, oh my goodness, this is going to be way too long.
Yeah.
And it was a little slog for a while. But by the end of it, you went, okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't awful. I do not want to see this kind of show with a 16-minute, no purpose opening segment talking a lot. I would like to see a 6th match if we have 3 hours.
Yeah.
And especially if we have 3 hours, I don't want matches that go 4.5 minutes, 7.5 minutes for a title.
Ridiculous.
But on the other side, we got 3 very long matches.
Yeah.
The main event was long. The 8-woman tag was close to 20 minutes. The U.S. title match on the men's side was close to 20 minutes. So they gave us like extremes this week. And it's tough to grade a show that's such extremes because there's going to be stuff that you really liked and there's going to be stuff where you're going, oh my goodness, get to the next thing.
Right.
But I did my best to grade it. I gave it a thumbs up. Maybe it's because I just enjoy doing Don't Bury the Lead with you so much, John.
Yeah, I'll take the compliment. No, it's all part of it for sure. We err on the side of positivity with pro wrestling because we don't want to be hate farming here.
Yeah.
We really like the shows we watch. So, we could sit here and Jim Cornette it and talk about how everything's horrible and the sky is falling every week and then it never does fall.
You gave it a thumbs down, though.
I did give it a thumbs down as a result of the fact that we switched to 3 hours. I said, I'm giving this a thumbs down. I don't care. I hate the 3-hour show versus the 2-hour show. And now,
so does Seth Rollins.
We've
covered that before.
Seth Rollins is a smart man,
right?
So
there you go. So for the viewers on the TikTok, if you're watching us on the TikTok, I thought it was cringe, but then I thought maybe it's Riz. And I was going back and forth. Cringe, Riz, skibbity toilets, cringe, Riz. And I went like 6, 7. That's a thumbs up. Did I get them all in?
Did you get all the stereotypical junk in? Yes, you did. Yeah, this is
people a quarter of my age know what I'm talking about.
Right. All right, I love it. Fantastic, Dom, and I'm glad you're making content for the kids on TikTok. They're gonna love it.
Is it getting warm in here?
Oh, it definitely is.
We know it's cheap, but is it getting warm?
It is not only cheap, but it is starting to heat up as we enter cheap heat. So let's go ahead. Dom, you're sharing your screen.
I am. This is when you and I, because we realize that wrestling is a lot bigger than one show that we recap each week, and even bigger than one promotion. Pro
Yes.
wrestling, especially in the US, is huge. Worldwide, it's even bigger. There's more stuff to talk about. So let's start off with some of the stuff that is non-WWE. Pro Wrestling Tees. And if you go to their little profile here on Zitter, they are t-shirts sold by over 2,000 plus wrestlers directly. They are official apparel providers for companies like All Elite Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Major League Wrestling, and the Mexican federation that I am not going to know what the CMLL stands for, but major wrestling promotions that are not WWE. Their top 25 sellers of 2025 dominated by AEW. Adam Page, number 1. Tony Storm, number 2. Kenny Omega, number 3. Are there any surprises in that top 3 and on the rest of the list for you, John, since you are more familiar with a lot of these wrestlers than I am?
I do have to say, I saw some of the merch at one of the wrestling shows, and the Adam Page t-shirt looks like a cool t-shirt that you wouldn't know is a wrestling t-shirt. And I said, well, I would wear that in real life. Okay. You can't wear a real wrestling. You can't just buy a bunch of wrestling t-shirts and wear those. And
you can if you're me.
Well, if you got them for free, I think you would, right?
Absolutely.
For you, it's more of a fiscal thing.
If I got a wrestling shirt, I would wear it and tell the story of why I have a wrestling shirt.
Listen, it's free. No, but yeah, so Adam Page had like the best t-shirt, so it sort of makes sense. Tony Storm has been the most over wrestler at AEW without question. Maybe, and I would argue, maybe in all of wrestling. Number 3 is Kenny Omega. I'm a little surprised he's there because I haven't seen him a ton this year.
Okay.
Ospreay and MJF would have been like a little bit more who I thought would sell.
They rounded out the top 5. PWI's Women's Wrestler of the Year, Mercedes Moné, is at 6. Trying to find someone here who's not AEW related. Adam Copeland is in the top 10, even though he hasn't wrestled this year.
Yeah.
Sting is number 10, even though he's not wrestling anywhere in almost 2 years. And he just finished up the Grandpa Sting Last Time Is Now with the face paint.
Yes, right.
Darby Allin. Danhausen, is that an AEW guy? Or is that another indie guy?
Yeah, that's Danhausen is another. Okay, so he's an AEW guy that isn't featured a lot on TV, but he does a goofy character that everybody likes, so it makes sense.
Okay, Sabu, the recently deceased Sabu at 16.
That's probably the highest one that isn't AEW affiliated.
Looks like it. Okay. Steve Austin, Stone Cold going the indie route. I am surprised to see Steve Austin on an indie outfit here. Let's see here. Killer Cross. Yeah. Karrion Kross, who only had maybe half a year to do this, comes in at 22. Mick Foley, not wrestling anymore. Also a guy with the WWE affiliation on the list. Bandito, and Sky Blue. So there are a few names here. Sabu, Steve Austin, Killer Kross, Mick Foley, who are not AEW affiliated. And for some of them, like Sabu, he's not any of these things affiliated.
Yeah,
he was retired for a while, did his one last match, passed away shortly afterwards. Steve Austin's been retired since WrestleMania 38. Karrion Kross is on the independent circuit. Mick Foley's been retired since longer than that and apparently is not doing a retirement match and may not even be affiliated with the WWE when his current contract retires because he's concerned about politics.
I'm surprised that Foley's even both Foley and Steve Austin are allowed to sell shirts.
Right?
They must have had something in their contracts years ago or something that they could sell independently. Because I would imagine that the WWE will put the kibosh on that.
WWE, this is why they want wrestlers to change their names when they get to WWE, is so that WWE can claim that it's their intellectual property, the name.
Mm-hmm. So they
But
can
Steve Austin was using Steve Austin before he got to WWE. He used it in WCW. He used it in ECW before ECW was part of WWF. Mick Foley. Now, Mick Foley's a strange one. I don't know if he used Mick Foley in other places. I remember him in WCW as Cactus Jack.
Yeah. He was
So I don't know how Mick Foley is able to do it. It may be that it's his real name and he's used it on things like books.
Yeah, maybe because he's got his own real name, but they got Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mankind.
Yep.
Those three they own. But the one Mick Foley he must just have.
Yep.
I mean, this is
Steve
earlier
Austin,
time.
of course, not his real name either. But it's not a wrestling name that originated in WWF.
Okay.
Yeah, so very good stuff there from AEW. Congrats to everybody who's got a big following out there. You're mentioning Tony Storm might be the most over wrestler in AEW. Is it kind of a Rhea Ripley thing?
It is kind of a Rhea Ripley thing. You're right.
There you go. So there's your WWE counterpoint to that. So good for Tony Storm. Good for Tony Storm. Very good. From Tony Storm to Tony Khan from Wrestling Inc. Tony Khan gently pushes back against Cody Rhodes' AEW criticisms. Almost 4 years later, Cody Rhodes' departure from AEW and subsequent return to WWE remains a popular topic of conversation. People just won't let it die. Cody Rhodes made a recent claim that he was disrespected in AEW at some point. Tony Khan was asked about this, and he tried to say, to his credit, I bet he does hundreds of interviews a year. And I'm not sure I agree with that, but I also would give him the benefit of the doubt. I've heard him say a lot of positive things too. For somebody that doesn't work here and that's involved in a competitive promotion, he's usually pretty gracious with the things that he says. I've seen him since he's been gone. It's always been very positive and good. I have only good things to say about him and his contributions here. Tony Khan kind of de-escalating, which seems unusual because AEW and WWE seem to like to escalate things.
Yeah, I thought this
like
was
the
like
CM Punk video from the locker room.
maybe they learned from the CM Punk video how stupid they looked when they did that and thought, maybe we should dial it back a little bit. I think this was a really good. I think it's a great answer by Tony Khan. That was was honest. Because sometimes he sounds a little bit like a head coach on a press conference where he's just kind of saying things that isn't answering it directly.
Yep.
But I think he had a great reason behind it. And he said he does tons of interviews. It probably just sort of slipped up and said that. And it's a great, and he's always, every interview asked about AEW and always said positive things about them. And one interview, he said something a little, not unfavorable, but he's like, yeah, he just does tons of interviews. And he probably just was like, yeah, whatever. And it just gave him an answer. Maybe he had a leading question that led him the wrong direction. But he said that he's talked to him already. He's seen him after he's left WWE or AEW. He's been in touch with them, and he's always said positive things. So that just seems like an outlier because he gets so many interviews, and I can empathize with that. Like if I'm on a lot of calls at work or something like that, or if you're talking a lot to people, like sometimes your brain shuts down a little bit, right?
Right, and also to do a yes and with that, we don't know what Cody's mood was, how long the interview was. I'm not aware of what question he was asked. Like you said, it could have been a leading question, but also Cody didn't really go into too many details that someone else could have picked up on. And maybe they were trying to get some details out of Tony Khan. Like,
Yeah.
what was it that Cody Rhodes was talking about? And they were expecting Tony Khan to escalate. And Tony went in the opposite direction. Tony Khan de-escalated the situation.
Yeah. I think that Tony did a good job. And at the end of the day, it's better that these two don't bicker. And
right.
Because it's not going to do either company any good. And it's just going to be like, the Punk thing was utterly exhausting. Yeah. And I'm like, and now that I think Punk's been more interesting to me now that that's in the past. and now it's AEW's better that he's gone and it's not just lingering around. So,
It was a good departure for everybody.
right. But now you have and you have this situation too. Like if you think about it, and I'm going to talk like not to talk too much about the one topic, but if you think about the way that Cody's been set up since he left AEW, he took an offer he couldn't refuse, right? Like,
Mhm.
hey, come beat Roman Reigns and be our big champ for the next several years. Now I know he had to pass a bunch of tests to get there, right? But
Yep.
that was really the plan all along, was that he would come in and, hey, if you can get over, you can come get Roman Reigns' title. And that's a risk he probably have to take in his career. And it was the correct one. And now he is well he's very much in the very top guy role in all pro wrestling for several years to come, right? So
He's set up for a long time.
he's set up for a long time. He took the risk. He delivered when he had to. He's been over. He's been wrestling great. And when Vince McMahon, old man Vince, calls you up and says, "Hey, listen, leave this company you're at right now, and we're gonna give you the big push because you've been doing great over there." You got to do it, right?
If you haven't burned all your bridges, yeah.
Yeah, which it seems like he hasn't. Um, I think that at some point, I would not be totally surprised to see him in AEW again one day down the
Oh.
road. If he's stale in WWE, he's older. It happens to everyone. They get older, they get stale. He wants to do something different. They want to put him in the Hall of Fame there. Guess what? He'll get in the Hall of Fame there.
They need an authority figure to go against Tony Khan.
Now there's that could work. He's 40, right? And he's still got plenty of years of wrestling left in him, but time flies. So
It does.
and if AEW is still around, guess what? He can end up there when he's in his late 40s.
Yeah, if AEW is still around or some other major promotion, then it's an option.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good. It's an option. And things like this, Tony Khan de-escalating what could have been a very leading question from a reporter, which could have gone south and in other situations has. That's how you keep the overall pro wrestling industry strong.
Yeah, that's a great point. It was good for the industry to see that they're getting along and cheering each other on, if you will.
Or at least not being petty and schoolyard stuff.
Yeah, there's a sense of respect between the two parties. I shouldn't say cheering each other on, but just a sense of respect when you're speaking about each other.
Yep, and Tony has grown into the role of like, oh, I'm not just the head booker, and sometimes on screen I own the company.
Right. Yeah.
So very good there. We mentioned Michin with her injury that took place on the WWE Holiday Tour short. It's a shoulder injury. She's going to be out for a while. Shoulder injuries seem to be the thing du jour. Also from SI.com. Same place that gave us that Michin update there. Sheamus's wife confirms he underwent shoulder surgery on Tuesday. Celtic Warriors expected to be out of action for some time after undergoing shoulder surgery. His wife, Isabella Revilla Farrelly, posted to Instagram. There's a Sheamus giving the thumbs up, but clearly with his left arm in a sling after a shoulder procedure. Shoulders are a big deal in the WWE. Both Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins are currently nursing shoulder injuries. Chad Gable had one a while ago and is expected back soon, but it was a long time that Chad Gable was out with a shoulder injury. Liv Morgan has returned recently. She was gone about half a year with a shoulder injury, a dislocated shoulder that required surgery. So, what is up with the shoulders in WWE and pro wrestling? Watch those shoulders, watch those knees, watch those shoulders, watch all those joints. My goodness, watch everything. Speaking of which, more somewhat injury news. Watch those necks as well. Comes to us from Clutch Point. young WWE star may never wrestle again due to scary neck injury. It's Piper Niven, who has been out for a while. Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer Live revealed there's a chance that Niven's injury is a career ender. We haven't seen her for a while since she wrestled Charlotte Flair back in August. Another reason why this report may have some credence to it is it's not just Brian Alvarez saying so, which may or may not be right. Piper Niven took to X to repost and quote herself William Regal's post about neck injuries and how serious they are. William Regal has talked in, very much a 57-year-old man just writing an entire block of text and posting it to social media, but talking about how he broke his neck twice, September of 93 and then a car wreck in 97, and stupidly never told anyone. He just tried to wrestle through it. And he was taught properly how to bridge and not land on the top of his head on bumps. It's a skill that maybe 99.9% of people don't know and will never learn anymore. I kept going somehow, but knew all the tricks that, again, people don't learn now and watch film and just copy. He's saying, take care of these things because you don't know when, oh, it's fine, turns into, oh my goodness, it hurts, and I have a serious injury. Kevin Owens is still out. It's almost a year Kevin Owens has been out. He was out on the road to WrestleMania. That's why they had to remove him from WrestleMania and get Randy Orton a new partner, which turned out to be Joe Hendry. But we're into 2026. We're almost at Royal Rumble, so we're almost at the road to WrestleMania. Kevin Owens has been out almost a year with it. William Regal, I'm 57 and become less relevant every day, but fame has never been my thing. So most of you doing the stupid stuff are not going to listen to me, but hopefully a few do. William Regal yells at Cloud. But yeah, it's serious stuff. Talking about maybe this is an x-ray of some procedure that he had done in his neck to stabilize it. Piper Niven said, yes, the line between but I feel fine and I just want to feel okay again is horrifically thin, and you have zero idea how close you are teetering on the edge of it. Please take heed, my darling. So in far fewer words and with line breaks, Piper Niven also chiming in there. Big deal. We've said it before. I'll say it again. Pro wrestling is real. 6'7" is fake. Sorry, TikTokers. It doesn't mean anything. Up next, Shayna Baszler from WrestleZone reporting here. Shayna Baszler was on Chris Van Vliet's podcast for an interview, clarifying her status. She's not back full-time with WWE, not as an in-ring performer. Obviously, we haven't seen her. But the rumors of her backstage, she's there sort of as a guest coaching role, as she says. I'm officially guest coaching when the opportunity comes. I don't hate it. I actually like it a lot more than I thought I would. She shouts out Daniel Bryan, who told her, like, if you ever get a chance, grab the headsets and just listen to what people are talking about while a match is going on. You'll learn so much. She says that she has as well. She says, if I don't suck too bad at it, at the guest part of it, maybe she will have a full-time role as a coach. She does like coaching. She says, I've been a talent, so I know how to go from creative to the talent and kind of bridge the gap to what creative is looking for and what the talent wants to do. Shayna Baszler seemed to be one of the more capable wrestlers there. Seemed like she got it.
Yeah, she definitely had her own style too, which she always stuck out with, and I always liked
Yes.
that about her. Seeing her in a coaching role is a good idea. It's a fitting end to her career, which was pretty solid. A lot of people come from the MMA world and they stink. I'll just be transparent. Like it seems like it's one of these things where, it should be an easy transition. You did MMA, you just get a little wrestling training and you get in there and you go out there and do it. And for them, it's a totally different beast from a performance standpoint. You have to have that performative energy and charisma and understanding of it, even as well as the physical stuff. So the physical stuff comes easy, but understanding how to perform in front of a big crowd doesn't necessarily come as easy to them.
We have seen before videos of in a match, Shayna Baszler doing something that like only she would know to help protect one of her fellow wrestlers in the ring. Very similar to the video you made recently about Asuka and Charlotte Flair, where Asuka very heads up move during a match and very subtly kept Charlotte Flair out of harm's way. And out of what could have been a very serious, yet another shoulder injury, it looked like was going to happen. So check that out if you're over there on YouTube watching us, or if you're not, head on over to YouTube. Don't Bury the Leader Wrestling channel. Check out our recent video from this year on Asuka and Charlotte Flair.
Dom, that was your call out. You sent me a message on through backstage one time. You sent me a message and let me know about the spot. And then I was like, all right, well, let me look it up. And then I saw it was online. I said, all right, well, I'm going to break it down.
There you go. Yeah. That's good kind of stuff. And Shayna Baszler is a kind of wrestler who knows that kind of stuff. I think she'd be a pretty good coach. And if she's getting a chance every now and then on a contract basis to do it, and she likes it and she's succeeding, then good for her. Very, very good. Let's end on a high note. Maybe. And I say maybe because, well, we'll see. From Wrestling Inc. again, WWE and AEW stars celebrate Maxine Dupree's wedding. But Becky Lynch comments on it. Maxine Dupree and WWE LFG Season 1 star Anthony Luke apparently have been a couple for many years. They got married in Naples, Florida. There is the happy couple. They posted to Instagram. Maxine Dupree, the current Women's Intercontinental Champion. Becky Lynch could not resist, tweeting out, Moody Maxine is getting married this week. I hear the dress is awful. Hopefully she enjoys her final week as champion. In quotes, champion the word. Come January 5th in Brooklyn, we all will celebrate her divorce with the Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch is a heel. She knows what a heel is. She's on my Mount Rushmore. I like this stuff. More of the happier stuff. People who attended, like Chelsea Green, Kathy Kelly, Matt Cardona, Deanna Parazzo, Jackie Redmond, TNA star Indy Hartwell, who wrestled Dupree on multiple occasions throughout their careers. There's Indy Hartwell posting to her Instagram as well. So a lot of people here. Someone named Jack Arnold, international barbecue event host. I've never heard of him, but he sounds like he has a very interesting role. If he is a barbecue guy, I like barbecue. He is there as well with plenty of folks. So looked like a good time. Congratulations, Maxine Dupree and Anthony Luke. And their hashtag for their wedding was Luke at last. Very good stuff. John, unlike that dress, it is cheap. And it is heat. It is unseasonably warm. It is pathologically frugal. What is it, John?
It's cheap heat.
Yes, it is.
All right. All right. Woo! We're going to head into the next segment. We all know what that is. The Italian goodbye. And thank goodness we got the fixer back, baby, because we got some chats coming through.
Oh, boy.
And
what do we got? What looks interesting to you there running the chat machine?
Let's just do this.
I will go full screen so I can see them too if you want. Or you want to put them on the screen?
I put them up on the screen. You wanna start shooting them? Shooting from the hip?
Let's see here. If I go full screen, I can maybe scroll on them. I don't know. Let's bring up the chat window. I can now see the chat. Let's see. Where were we here? Let's see here. Penta is out injured right now. He was back on Monday Night Raw. I wondered if he got hurt again. Tony Storm made a misstep going to AEW, but she's rising really well. Do you remember Tony Storm, John, when she got to AEW initially? Was it rough going for her for a while?
I mean, she got the title there, so her initial gimmick was a little bland.
Okay.
But her gimmick in WWE was bland too. It was
Right.
just like I'm a girl with a red leather jacket, and she had like a eye makeup, like what football players put under their eyes.
Oh,
So
okay.
she
Eye black, but it's red.
eye black, but it was black. So she had
It was
eye
black.
black,
Okay.
and yeah, she's just kind of like, oh, I'm hot, you know. That was sort of like, I don't want to say that was the gimmick, but like she didn't have much of a personality, and she's so good looking. It was just like, oh, she's the hot girl.
Okay.
So, but eventually, I think she found her footing as Tony Storm, and then when she started to turn into timeless Tony Storm, she I would say shot. I mean, like they strapped a rocket to her, and that rocket went into orbit, you know, into the atmosphere, and actually hit the moon. You know, like it actually worked to that point when they strapped the rocket on her. You know,
All right. Very good. Good for her. Another one here. Massive rumor: WWE will be sold to the Saudis, and the Rumble is a test to see if they can run it by themselves. WWE is in lawsuits right now over the most recent sale that created TKO Enterprises. I don't know that they can do that again. They may have too many lawsuits involved and people deposed for it. That would be unfortunate if WWE got sold to the Saudis. I'm not as opposed to the WWE having a relationship with some venues and promoters in Saudi Arabia like they do when they travel internationally as well. But being sold to the Saudis, I don't know how feasible that is. Seth Rollins started his shoulder injury series. So if that's the recuperating from it, yes, very good for him. Cody is well embedded at WWE. Cody Rhodes, that is. One knee injury from a forced retirement. You never know. Wrestlers especially know how to wrestle with injuries that would keep you out of, say, football or basketball or soccer or baseball. Because they can coordinate what they're doing and because they're very good at protecting each other, guys have been able to wrestle with injuries. I don't know there. Let's see here. Piper Niven, unlikely she'll return. It was some sort of a fracture there for her neck. Almost a year for Liv Morgan. And she returned in December, and she was here through the spring a little bit. So yeah, it was a while for her. I'm surprised that she was back as soon as she is when people were talking about the separated shoulder and that she needed surgery. Let's see here. On the MMA topic, it's not MMA. It's training a few times a week for 2 to 3 fights a year. Yeah, the MMA, you're gearing up for just very few big payoffs during the year. Wrestling, you're constantly training and constantly working. So really, you're not training. You can't train the same way because you have to wrestle. You've got to get out there and do it. Guys like Carmelo Hayes are out there almost every week. LA Knight for a while was out there every week. Some of these guys not only do TV, they also do house shows. It's not like it was, in the 80s or 70s or even the early 90s where some of these guys did 250 to 300 dates a year. They were wrestling 5 or 6 times a week. But it is a lot. It is not like boxing or MMA where you could say, yeah, I signed to have a big bout 9 months from now, and I'm just going to train for that. In the WWE, even if they write your storyline 9 months ahead, as Paul Heyman has said they do for some of their big story angles. It doesn't mean you do nothing except that one event and train for that one event for 9 months. You're building that event. You're still wrestling. You're on the road. You're working. You're bumping and doing physical things on TV and in-house shows, even if it's not an official match. There's a lot to do. It's a different mindset. It's a different kind of physicality. It's a different kind of training regimen all around. Yes. It's why you can't just be another kind of professional athlete and think that you'll automatically succeed in pro wrestling. It's a different animal. It's a different animal there, very much so. Very good. All right, I think we're caught up on all of the chats there. Very good. How was your New Year? Anybody out there listening, watching, either on the live stream? The live chat is open, or in the archives. Hit us in the comments if you're watching the archived live stream there on YouTube. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what's going on with you. How did your 2025 end? How has your 2026 begun, even though it's only it's not even 100 hours old as we record this live stream here. Very good. They call doing 70 shows a year workhorses at the WWE now. Yeah, right. It used to be 3 to 4 times that. Even in the Attitude Era, they did twice that, right?
Yeah.
You would work maybe 3 shows a week.
I do have one thing to say though. As far as MMA guys are concerned, it's tough for them to transition. On the other side of it, pro wrestlers trying to be MMA guys, impossible. It only really worked for Brock Lesnar because of his background in NCAA wrestling, being a national champion. Like when CM Punk tried to do it, it was a joke. Yeah. He got completely destroyed because he's not a real athlete. I hate to and that's the other thing.
He's not a real combat performer. He's not into combat sports for real.
He's not for real combat. He's not a great athlete, which is what you have to be in the UFC. And to play at that level is ridiculous, right?
Yeah, it's elite stuff. You're talking about Bellator, UFC. These are the big
so leagues. Guys, I think, would have a better chance transferring from MMA to pro wrestling than pro wrestling to MMA. It's like impossible, you know?
Okay.
I mean, some of those.
Very good. Bobby Lashley had a good run doing MMA as well.
Yeah, he's a good example, right, of a guy.
I think he was something like 14-2 in Bellator.
Mm-hmm.
So he did well as also. Very good stuff. Way back in the early days of Don't Bury the Lead, we did a special show about who would win a real fight. And we did our brackets. And our finals at the time, because Bobby Lashley was in the WWE and Brock Lesnar was still sort of active, the finals would be Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley for who would win a real fight. And we gave the edge to Brock Lesnar. But yeah, those are the guys who, because of their background in doing more than pro wrestling, they succeeded in that combat sports arena as well. Fixer, yes, you had mentioned to us your end of 2025 was pretty miserable. Better days ahead for you in 2026.
Yeah, Fixer. The flu is no joke if it's bad. I know that. I mean, if you can't even watch pro wrestling, I know you were really on the mend. You can't watch TV. You're I got to just lay here.
Especially since, when you've got the flu, one of the things you do is just kind of lay around and rest and watch TV. Yeah. But if even the watching TV was too much, whoo. There you go. Very good stuff. I had an interesting New Year's. I've enjoyed sort of the end of 2025 there. I did write about it on my other media project, the end of 2025. I made a Stranger Things reference as well, because I'm one of those hip people. I'm with it. I know pop culture, and I can make pop culture references. I know what things mean. I know what all the cool people are talking about.
Dom, you've improved so much since you didn't know who Megan Thee Stallion is.
Right? Yes.
There is a
I
short
still
of
don't know who she is, but I know other people now.
there was a short of you, and you're like, WWE SmackDown theme song is done by Megan Thee Stallion, who I do not know who that is.
Yes. Apparently, she's a Megan. She may or may not be a horse. I was taking 10 steroid pills a day for my lungs. Just standing was getting you out of breath, just standing up. Wow. Okay. That does sound rough. I had did I tell you about the Feast of the Seven Fishes? I don't think I did. So for Christmas Eve, I visited some friends, and the mom is Italian. So there was the traditional Christmas Eve dinner of the 7 types of seafood, the Feast of the Seven Fishes, which I enjoyed. I tried a little bit of all the fishes. For dessert, there was what I called the Feast of the Seven Cookies, because I saw 7 varieties of cookies there as well. So that was very good. As happens in Italian families, they made way too much food. I and others were gifted leftovers. I was eating the leftovers for another few days. They were excellent, just putting a few varieties of seafood and vegetables and whatnot into a big old casserole dish and popping it in the oven for a while, and just heating everything through, and having a mini smorgasbord feast there for a few days afterwards. That was a lot of fun. Heading into the final week of the year, New Year's Eve, not very eventful. I believe I was playing my guitar, just exercising my hobby there, when the clocks and therefore the year flipped over at midnight. So I was doing my thing. That's what I like. I'd been out and about plenty that day already, so I hung out indoors.
I
Um,
I went to like a small party on New
okay,
Year's Eve, but we had the baby with us, so I left at 8 o'clock with the baby, and my wife
okay,
stayed. And yeah, I did something similar to you. I heard all the fireworks. I don't know. Were you hearing fireworks at all?
a little bit. I mean, I
I
was awake.
I was through. I'm so close to Philly, so I can hear
Oh,
them over the river. And
okay.
then people, for some reason, come by to the river there and light their own fireworks, because you could see the fireworks from Philly. And then people do their own, and the town does them. So there was fireworks galore. And I was just in my house. I think, if I remember correctly, I was saving shorts, YouTube shorts, to upload to TikTok.
There
So
you go.
I was doing editing work on my end.
A
So
very productive end of 2025 and beginning of 2026.
absolutely, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right? A very don't bury the lead celebration there. I like it. Fixer almost comatose for 4 or 5 days. My goodness.
Mm.
My goodness. We are glad that you recovered, sir.
Was it more than the flu, or was it just the flu?
It sounds like super flu.
And were you in the hospital when this happened, or were you at home gutting it out?
Sounds like a little bit of gutting it out there, but
Yeah.
wherever it was, say yes. This was not just the flu. This was Jimmy Super Flu Snuka. Do you think the kids on TikTok will get that? No.
Mm.
The middle-aged people, the Gen Xers aren't getting that either. That watch our show anyway.
People always talk about Jimmy Snuka to me. I'm like, yeah,
Really?
that's a guy that killed his wife, And they're like, what? I'm like, you never heard that story? He killed his wife.
You're quite a conversationalist there, John, when people
Yeah.
start asking you pro wrestling things.
They said that Jimmy Snuka was at their friend's wedding, like their friend's, yeah, like their friend's cousin's wedding or something like that.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, well, he's a murderer, so just watch out for him. I mean, look, am I wrong? Jimmy Snuka.
There have been cable TV documentaries. So there's been a lot of stuff. Yes, I think the family of the you want to feel old. I feel whatever. I feel alive at whatever age I am.
Yeah. So
I'm an old soul fixer. Gabe. Gabe jumping in here telling me you want to feel old. I don't know that I want to feel old. Is that a where is that coming from? Is that coming from Twitch?
Yeah, this is from Twitch.
Stone Cold's King of the Ring promo is 30 years ago this year. That's right. My goodness.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
That's right. 1995 was 30 years ago. There you go.
Hmm.
I was in college. The Monday Night Wars were about to start.
Yeah. It's funny when stuff like that pops up, even amongst my friends. We're as far away from that as that moment when was from Bruno being champ. Wow.
Oh, even farther. Bruno was champ in the 70s.
Yeah. So
We're almost as far from Stone Cold's 95 as 95 would be from JFK getting shot in 63.
Hmm.
I'd love to go back to 95 right now. Oh, I don't want to be in college again.
Yeah, I'd have to do health. Oh my god, I have to do school again? No way.
No, I don't want to do school. I like being an adult. I don't want to do school again.
No. Dude, 95, I'd have to go back to 5th grade. So,
Oh, wow. There you go.
yeah. I think, yeah, because 97, I graduated elementary school. So I graduated high school in 2003.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, I wouldn't want to do that at all. Because it's
Very
not like
good
it was like
stuff.
my senior year or something. I could see that maybe, but no.
I enjoyed my past, but no, I don't want to go back.
Anyways, yeah, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. He got accused, or he was in 2015. He was charged Tuesday with 3rd-degree murder, and he was charged with it, and then he died shortly after. So they obviously dropped the case because he just died.
Yes. You can't put dead people in jail.
Hmm.
They can vote, but you can't put them in jail. Victor says, I'm 53 now, 54 this year. So it's close to Chris Jericho. Killed to be 24 again. Yes, I think we all would. We all have some things that we say, man, I wish I had done that a little better. I'd like to have a do-over on that, but yeah, all in all, I like I like
Fixer,
whatever my age is.
Fixer, you're Jericho's age.
Yeah, I just mentioned that. Yeah.
So, do you feel like you could go, or are you like, wow, how is this guy doing that? You know,
Are you training for a comeback match, a retirement match, Fixer?
Yeah.
I was almost out of college by 95. I was still in college, but hadn't yet graduated.
Mm-hmm.
So very good stuff this week. It's a good start to 2026. Gonna be a big week for WWE. It was a big week for AEW. They ran some special shows just because of what was happening on Wednesdays with Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and those are that's their biggest telecast of the week. Dynamite on Wednesdays. So, anything to report that was fun from AEW, John, this past week?
I have been so out of wrestling. You know, I just haven't caught up with it. I need to. I keep telling myself that I'm gonna download Daily Motion into my TV so I can get the AEW pay-per-views. That's really what's killing me because I watch Dynamite when I can. But
Okay.
because Dynamite fell on the holidays, I didn't watch it. That's
Oh,
really what it
okay.
boiled down to.
Hmm.
But I'll probably pick up with it this Wednesday. And Dom, I think if we ever do see a Dynamite that sticks out, I'd like to recap that because you could probably
Sure.
steal it, and that would be like
Sure.
something to change it up.
Yeah.
Especially if maybe post WrestleMania, you know how like stuff kind of drags. We don't really need a SmackDown, and then of course that's when they have good SmackDowns, right? Is like they'll have them out of the blue. Fixer, I wonder how Jericho does it. To be honest.
Well, he hasn't been doing it for several months. He's been podcasting and doing other kind of media appearances. He hasn't been wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Gabe, let me just tell you, Gabe, we are not frequently on Twitch. We don't have any content on there outside of the live stream. So if you do check us out on YouTube. So
Twitch can't store content more than a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
So yes, our archive dating back to September 30th, 2022. 2022 is we stream on more than one platform, but all the cool stuff is on YouTube, like you said, John, right?
Mhm.
Don't Bury the Lead, a wrestling channel.
And next week we will be streaming on TikTok.
We made it.
We made the 50
Oh,
followers.
I have to get more young person references.
You got to. Now the lines will really hit because they'll have all the little Gen Alphas and Gen Zs. I'm saying Gen Alpha. Like, is that who's on there? That age? Right?
I have to ask the children of some of my friends. What's in? What kind of stuff should I be saying?
You're right with the 6'7", 6'7", 6'7".
There you go. If SmackDown's going to be 3 hours, I want to see 6-7 matches.
All right, Dom. What do you think?
I think The Miz should form a tag team with The Riz.
The Riz. Yeah, let's do it. All right, guys. Well, Dom.
I think I've been cringe enough for one program.
Yes. Fixer, thanks so much for joining again, man. I hope you feel better. I was thinking of you because you had missed a couple days in a row, and I was like, I wonder where he's at. I just thought maybe you had work or something. So glad to hear that you're on the mend here and you're back. Always kind of weird because if somebody disappears, I'm like, I wonder where they went, and I don't really know you, so I don't have your number or something. Gabe, thanks for chiming in too as well. Check us out
that bit
on
of
YouTube.
history, we like it. The nostalgia there, very good.
And guys, have a great rest of your evening. Dom, thank you so much as always. And then, all right, let's do it. Dom, thank you as so much as always.
Can't wait for Heyman to turn on Breaker when Jericho comes back. Oh my goodness!
Whoa!
Oh my goodness! There's the hot take as we go off the air.
Love it. All right, guys.
Love it, Gabe. Wonderful.
Thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated. Dom, much appreciated. Gabe, Fixer, of course, the whole family. And have a great rest of your evening.